Welcome to Hy-Vee Today with Tony Tone. We're live inside Muscatine Hy-Vee on 2nd Avenue in Muscatine, streaming on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Now, here's Tony Tone.
Really quiet in the Market Grill Express today, I got to tell you. Welcome to the Hy-Vee Today Show. This is Tony Tone. It is Thursday, the 14th of November, World Diabetes Day, wearing blue. I would be probably scolded by my friend Kim Seligman with the Muscatine Diabetes Project if I didn't wear blue. So, Kim, I want you to know I love you, and I made the conscious decision as I was using my phone to illuminate my closet to find a blue shirt. And then I thought, you know, I'm not going to not wear blue because I said I would do it yesterday on the show, and it was great talking to Kim and Nancy Carlisle and everybody that was here. That was a lot of fun. So keep that in mind, thinking about folks with type 1 diabetes, certainly young people that have to manage that, and folks with type 2 diabetes today. We've got a Moonlight Madness sale here at the store starting at 4 p.m. this afternoon/evening. You can see the deals on the screen. We've been putting them out on social media. Great opportunities to save 4 till 9 while supplies last. Deli ham, chicken breast, Pepsi products, blueberry muffins, shrimp, soup, crackers. It's all there. If you can see it, come in, take advantage of those deals. And then, Chad, right at the bottom of that, 2 birds, 1 stone, the holiday show with samples throughout the store, 5 till 7. Kind of forgot I had to work late tonight. Always goes over well with your significant other. You don't have to work late this week, do you? No. Hey, I got to work late tomorrow, I said to her last night. You said you didn't have to this week. I'm not perfect, dear. She said, I know. So at this point, it's also my Facebook anniversary of being friends with my wife, which is how we met on Facebook, and that's not a weird thing to say anymore. It was kind of weird like 10 years ago. People would be like, how'd you meet? I'd be like, we met on the Facebook. Wait, what? We met on Facebook? But now, I mean, you're literally swiping right or swiping left. Is that how that works? I don't know. But yeah, so that's cool. So we're celebrating that. We've also got a Thursday night steak dinner here in the store. If you don't want to cook, we can get you taken care of. Grab that steak dinner. You might as well enjoy it here in the Market Grill Express. There's also a fundraiser going on for MCSA tonight, so you can support them. And then, Chad, since you're on the page, if you look at that prime rib picture, oh my. This is Friday night's dinner. Chef Scott, prime rib, 8-ounce or 10-ounce cut. That'll be the best prime rib in Muscatine, period. Again, Chef Scott Long, formerly Awad DeBeats, right-hand man at DeBeats, now the executive chef in the Market Grill Express. I'm glad they were zooming in just to make people more hungry. So that's going to be the Friday night dinner special starting at 5 p.m., and I hope that you'll come in for that. All right, we have another full show today with guests right now as we start, and then guests on the backside. So, and that's how I would prefer it, quite frankly, and it's all really good content. So today, for the first time, this is exciting. So I had got done with the show maybe a week or two ago, and Tom Emmerich kind of just was right out in the produce department, and we had a little conversation, and now Tom's here and Dan's here, and we're going to talk about the Muscatine World Peace Park, and it's great to have you here. Tom, it was so fun. Dan, thank you. You were just right out in the produce department, and now you're on the show. So when I tell people that that's how easily they can get booked, I mean it. You know, it's really, you find me in the store and we'll have you here. So thank you guys both for being here.
Thank you for having us.
I appreciate it. I have
Good to meet you in person.
Yeah, nice to meet you too, Dan. I feel like I have seen you guys on more city council meetings. I watch all of that stuff. I am going to go on record of saying that I am pro the Peace Park for Muscatine.
Whatever that might be.
Whatever it means. For the folks at home that maybe have just bits and pieces of this, let's kind of give them a little bit of a background, and then we've got some great, renderings and images. But I just want people to know, where did this start with respect to this effort to bring about the Peace Park to Muscatine?
This started with a dream that Dick McLean had.
Okay.
And it's taking the land, the old Carver Corners, and I'll further describe that as all the land from the McKee Button Factory down to Canal Street, and developing that into what we're now terming a Peace Village, which a park would be part of it. So it's been Dick's dream, and we got together with Dick about a year and a half ago, and then have slowly brought other people into the discussion. And we're at the point now of really getting this thing made public and getting people on board with us. And in that sense, we do have a public meeting on November 21st.
Perfect.
At 5:30. The doors will open at the Pearl Button Museum, and we'll have some preliminary drawings there, artist conception
Sure.
of what the Peace Park can be. So we certainly welcome the general public to be part of this.
That'd be a week from tonight.
Yeah, how about it? So please go to get more info. And Dan, I think what folks need to understand is this land that we're talking about, this Carver Corner, needs some TLC, and it needs. And in my opinion, it's not right. It's not. In my opinion, I don't think housing makes sense there. I think the consensus for Muscatine is that we need more housing. And we have this 10,000 plus workforce that drives in and drives out, and more housing would be a reason for these folks to want to not make that commute, right? If we had more housing options, I know that there's a shortage, but I don't think, and this is my personal opinion based on what I've read and learned, I don't think housing in that location makes the most sense. I think there's other opportunities elsewhere throughout town, but this is kind of
saying village because sure. Housing, new housing, redeveloped
Housing can be all around what we're talking about.
Sure. So even with the plan, you could still have housing
Absolutely.
That's great.
Yes, and rather than having 4 or 5 large apartment buildings in one location, it would be better to move and have individual apartments throughout the opportunity zones rather than having one major conglomeration.
And it seems like there's other examples, of communities that have gone the route of a peace park, right? That we've been able to look at, to draw on for inspiration, and to say, hey, listen, this can be a great amenity for a community. I mean, I think
there's a great variety of them, actually.
Sure. So, and that's something that I wonder if folks realize, that this isn't, because I feel like there's a lot of misinformation about this. This is a hot button topic, and it seems like people are not as informed as they should be. So the intent is to have something that would serve folks in Muscatine, and then obviously for all that traffic that comes through town that way, would look good, so it'd be aesthetically pleasing, but then would also be one of those things that would maybe bring folks to town on a
As our 82-year-old friend Dick says, people would stop and take selfies.
Right. Dick McLean's my neighbor. I don't know if you know that. He's my neighbor, yeah. So, yes, if Dick...
Has he been on your show, Tony?
He has not.
He's one of a kind.
I know. He should, shouldn't he? I could drive him here with me. I mean, he lives across the street. But you're right. So if Dick McLean is identifying that people could stop and take selfies, and it's not about taking a selfie, but it is about...
Actually, he says busloads of them will get off the bus. That's what Dick says.
I love that. That's so great. But what do you want people to know as far as getting the full story out there, so that they support this effort that because it's a lot of people that are pushing for this to happen?
Well, it's the fact that we are focused on economic development. We want tourists to come in here. I think last year, or maybe 17, I don't recall now, had Muscatine County had $65 million in tourist activity.
Wow.
So we should be able to increase that dramatically with something like the Village Peace Park. We're looking at something that fits a lot of different needs. Performance area, an iconic structure.
Play space.
Pardon me?
Play space.
Yes.
Right. So there's
Dick says there should be a carousel, a circus carousel.
Yeah.
Right in the corner.
Perfect. Let's do it. I mean, whatever it takes, right? Because it is such a great location.
Yes.
And that's why. And
you
again,
don't
look
have
at
to
these
cross
renderings.
the tracks to get to it.
Right.
Well,
that's
and
a good
that's
point, Dan. You're right.
The other thing, that location just does give such a beautiful entrance to Muscatine downtown.
Yep.
So I see we're getting these on the screen. We should say these are just some early concept ideas.
Yeah.
We've been working with a Muscatine native landscape architect, Matt Gordy, who lives over at Ames, and he's been knocking these things out.
That's super cool.
These are some of the images we're going to have next week, and he promises more by then.
So again, people will really get a sense for what we're talking about. Look at that. Wouldn't that be impactful?
And we've done that thing in different diameters. I think that particular one is 200, is that 250 feet?
That one may be. We finally settled on a dimension of something like 125-foot diameter.
Wow.
And that would
Not to argue with the chairman, but I don't think a thing is settled.
Well,
we
you're right.
keep kicking these ideas around.
But that would become a performing arts center as well.
Yeah.
A place for discussions of
Now,
peace.
there's how Matt works.
I like
I just
that. Look
threw
at
that one on there because
Isn't that cool?
he just scribbles away, and then these beautiful images come out.
So what's I mean, obviously the city, had this request for proposal, and they have a developer that they want to work with. There hasn't been a final decision made with respects to this property, right? They haven't.
Right.
They haven't accepted
Right,
that.
the city's been acquiring it parcel by parcel over
Sure.
over what, a decade
10,
or more.
yeah.
But as far as the future plans, they haven't. The council hasn't chosen to go one way or the other.
Right.
They've heard about this proposal. I can't remember the developer that they've talked about, but
Merge.
Okay, and it's and that would be for one sort of larger housing. I don't want to say conglomerate, but a larger housing.
If that
Yeah,
would
it
ever
was the
happen.
design of 5 apartment buildings on that area. So
This is part of the Mississippi corridor redevelopment that's happening in phases. And you remember 2 or 3 years ago, city was talking roundabout or
Right.
what kind of
Yep.
intersection there. 'Cause it's a complicated traffic pattern. And at that point, they put that decision on hold until they would
Sure.
figure out the rest of the development.
So what do you need, guys, as far as, I guess, what's an ideal timeline? I mean, it seems like time is maybe of the essence with respects to where the city, regardless of, obviously I'm pro Peace Park, but is this something that you would like to see within the next 2 to 5 years? Is it a 5 to 10 year project? I mean, they're going to be making a decision pretty
well, this
soon,
is certainly
right?
more than a 2 to 5 year project.
Sure.
So we're just saying offhand, probably 10 years or even more to fully develop this.
Okay.
But right now, what we're interested in is getting the city to approve it and having the general public support us in that goal with the recognition that it's not going to happen tomorrow as
Overnight.
far as
Sure.
all the buildings and development.
So the objective one is slow down any commitment to a particular high-rise housing scheme that ties up the land forever.
Right. Yep. Yeah, I agree. And that's kind of what's been sort of,
And have a lot more conversation.
Yeah.
Get the whole community involved in saying, here's what we'd like there.
we shouldn't
Carousel
rush
in the
to
corner,
this.
that's stupid. I wanted a water park. That kind of discussion.
But no, Dan, you're right. I mean, it shouldn't be something that's rushed through. And I know that you have, with Ann and everybody, there's been such a conscious effort. And when you talk about getting renderings done and inviting folks a week from tonight to the National Pearl Button History Museum to show up, I mean, you're doing a good job trying to get in front of as many people as possible. And it's just important for people to understand that this is a significant location in Muscatine, and what do you want it to look like in 10 to 15 years? What will people see when they, to Tom's point, when you come into town and there's that many vehicles that are traveling? We've done such a good job, with the Mississippi Drive Corridor project and how that looks. It's very aesthetically pleasing, and the addition of the Merrill. I mean, I think it looks great downtown. But as you start to head out from downtown, shouldn't that be carried through?
Yeah.
Right? I think it makes sense.
As a crowning piece of our riverfront
absolutely.
that we've
Right.
been doing for 20 plus years.
Yeah.
We have.
I worked 1 year as a reporter for the Muscatine Journal, 2001, and I covered meeting after meeting of what in those days was called the Riverfront Implementation Team, I think it was. Jeff Fick, who chaired that, worked at HAN in those days, HNI. I know in 2001 I was at a meeting where somebody said, what about that corner down there at Carver's? And even then, they were talking about the White Way Hotel and all kinds of things. Oh, we got eyesores down there we have to deal with, people would say.
Sure.
And it struck me when Jeff's answer was, someday that corner will be Muscatine's answer to the village of East Davenport.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a statement.
I mean, that's
18 years
that's
ago.
memorable.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, and I think again, we want Muscatine to be set up for success for generations to come, and this is an important part of that. And on Facebook, by the way, if you're looking, so World Peace Park, Muscatine, Iowa, you can find it. All the information is on there, but even better is
Actually, it's called World Peace Village now.
World
We just voted
Peace
to change
Village.
that.
Okay, World Peace Village on Facebook, and again, November 21st, we want you to come out to the National Pearl Button Museum and get more information. And yeah, I think it is important for there to be some pause in any decision making.
You know,
Right.
we have such a beautiful riverfront. I mean,
Absolutely.
it's unencumbered.
Yep.
And we need to keep it that way in order for Muscatine to grow. And tourism really needs to be part of that. People need to come in and see what Muscatine's done with their riverfront.
I think it would be another great way to continue to bring folks to town. You know, I'm going to be careful how I word this because it was a couple of years ago, but I was involved in a conversation and someone suggested that Muscatine should try to be exactly like LeClaire. And I thought, okay, I understand what you're saying, but a couple of years ago, LeClaire was Tugfest and Sneaky Pete's.
Yeah.
And then this reality show started, and it is a natural pull. I mean, LeClaire is a great town, don't get me wrong. It's right off of I-80, certainly. But Muscatine doesn't need to copy anybody.
No.
We can certainly take...
We're Norman Baker Town now, aren't we?
Right. We can maybe the Mark Twain angle more, but we can take ideas and borrow and look for inspiration, but I don't want to be... I would hate for someone to say, oh, Muscatine is just trying to be LeClaire 2.0. I mean, I'm all for a strengthened, strong downtown. We have this unbelievable riverfront, and I'm pro bringing people to town. But what we're not going to have, unless somebody has a good idea, is a reality show that millions of people watch that has a retail shop that brings people to town. I don't understand if people realize that that's what really helped LeClaire, and then they got people to invest in it, and it's great. So I think Muscatine, we have a lot going for us. I love being at the Riverfront Park with my kids, or just walking from Musser Park down the trail. I mean, it is really a beautiful part of the world, and to have the river right here is great.
We're claiming this word peace. We're actually
Yes.
we're daring to do it, which Ann Meeker will sometimes say. Now, we're not talking about hippies in a pool, because if you're of a certain age, you know that might be the image you've got. But we've had the Stanley Foundation, which just on November 11 changed its name to the Stanley Center for Peace and Security,
How about it?
based in Muscatine since 1956 and working all over the world.
Yep.
I'd like to read you a few words I got from an Iraq War veteran who says he can't come to our meeting, but he wanted to send us a message.
Sure.
And I haven't asked if I could use his name, but he says, I've not had the opportunity to sit in on any of the meetings for the Peace Park. I don't know all the ideas floated about it. I can tell you we need to teach our children that peace is what we need to glorify, not war. This is our opportunity to do it, to show them that helping out fellow humans does not come about only through bombers and missiles, but simply remember all of us are related, and to treat each other with love and respect, to actively listen and talk to achieve what people need. As you sit down and discuss this opportunity to have a dedicated monument to peace, we must remember it is not a monument against the veteran who cannot choose what their skills were used for. It is not a monument against the country. It is a monument to remind us we have a duty to our children to always try and live in peace. And then he says, tell me if this sounds okay. Because
It's beautiful.
I said, this is way beyond okay.
It's great. Yesterday was World Kindness Day. Can't we all do better to be kind to each other and to want peace? And however you interpret that word.
Exactly.
Right? We're in the same week where we had Veterans Day. There were 550 people in this store on Monday, and it was fantastic.
Yeah.
And I think everybody can agree that kindness and peace and respect are things that we can only hope to continue to instill. I mean, I have 3 kids that are 7, 4, and 13 months old, and all I want for them is to be healthy, happy, but to be, peaceful, kind-hearted, respectful people.
To live out normal lives.
Right, absolutely. And to have a good head on their shoulders so that when conversations like this come up, I don't want anything to be rushed. To come back to what we've kind of touched on, this is a big deal for Muscatine. It deserves to have due process.
Yes.
So that
Yes,
we
it
can
does.
go through the proper steps, and that is getting information in front of people, coming on the show, having the event next week, and just continuing to educate and inform people. That's all we can
And
hope
that,
for,
that
right?
South End neighborhood has been neglected
Yes.
and is really ripe and deserving of redevelopment.
They absolutely deserve to have something
And,
like
and
this
not and
back
not to
there.
gentrify people out. That that's one concern that comes along. People say, "What are you going to do? Build housing that'll price me out of the neighborhood?"
Sure.
No.
Yeah.
Let's talk this through and figure out how we have justice at the same time.
Yeah, no, I think this is a fascinating push, and I appreciate the efforts that you guys have made, and I'm thankful that the city council has agreed to not just sort of rush to any final decision.
But we have such a community of world here. I mean, our involvement with China, our sister cities are all over the globe.
Yeah.
And this is something that's very critical, and that will help us nurse the word peace to bring it to fruition. So, yes, this is...
Our companies here work all over the world.
Absolutely. Muscatine has a global
Yeah.
footprint. It's unbelievable. I mean,
It is.
I've only been here 7 years, but I came to Muscatine when I worked at Hahn for 6 months, and I couldn't believe the amount of reach that they have.
It's
and
incredible.
Then you talk about what Stanley's been
Absolutely.
able to do, and it's great. And nobody's going to tell our story or brag about Muscatine if the people that are here aren't doing it. Right? We have to be better about doing that as a whole, and that's where conversations like the Peace Village in the park and everything that it can encompass have to happen. It has to. We can't just not. You have to pay attention if you're out there. I mean, I never thought I would watch so much city council on my phone and follow things, but I tell you what, it's just part of. You can care and you can complain or you can be pro things, but if you're not putting your money where your mouth is and showing up and letting your voice be heard, then
Absolutely.
Every time I see some kind of fight in town, I think, see, we will figure out how to bury some of these hatchets.
Right.
And then that'll be part of what we'll celebrate.
right, exactly.
I walked out of one of those city council meetings with Tom one night, and I said, so my fantasy is that we get the city administrator and the mayor, to lead this project together. And Tom, do I get to quote what you said walking down the steps? I think I said I want him to bury the hatchet.
Yes.
And he said, yeah, in each other's backs.
Oh boy. Yeah. Well, listen, I think everybody wants the best for this community. It's what sets us up for long-term success. That's my concern. And from my understandings with the plans that y'all have and how it would look and what it would do for this community, that's where I would hedge my bet long-term. I'm not going anywhere. So I'm going to be here 10, 20, 30, 40 years, and I don't want to look back and think, boy, that was a mistake.
Well, it's a lot of times you don't realize what you have. And I think Muscatine is somewhat in that situation. They don't realize how good they have and how good this town is. And we need to start publicizing that and talking about it.
Well, and it's okay to pat yourself on the back. Like I said, I mean, an example of folks kind of coming together recently. How about the success of the Almost Friday Fest? I never never thought I would stand on a stage with the river to my left, looking out into 1,000, 2,000.
Yeah, how cool is that?
It was unbelievable. And the same can be said with, I mean, if it seems silly, but the effort and the push to get the water tower design. I mean, that was fantastic to get almost 10,000 people to vote and to feel strongly about, you know what? This is where I live. Maybe you're not even in the area anymore, but you have fond memories. Like it's okay to feel a sense of pride with where you're living and calling home. So I appreciate the efforts that are going on. I want to again invite everybody next week, a week from today, November 21st, to show up to the National Pro Button and History Museum at 5:30 to educate yourself and to go on Facebook to World Peace Village, Muscatine, Iowa. Get all the details. There's a Facebook event for next week. What follows that, guys? What happens after that event? I mean, there's a lot of work.
We meet every Tuesday.
Okay.
Once the city issued that request for proposals last summer, wasn't that when we stepped it up? The group had been, that's about the time I came on. The group
Yes.
had been meeting, what, monthly or every 2 weeks?
Every month, and then it went to every 2 weeks, and now we're meeting weekly.
Every Tuesday morning at 10 o'clock, we meet down on the top floor of First National Bank, and where we can sit and look out at the river.
Yeah.
Right.
Room 305A.
So
And we welcome people to show up and chat.
yeah, I hope that you do. And if you feel so, if you feel so strongly about this, get involved. I'm assuming there's ways that people can get involved with this effort, right?
Oh, is this where we mentioned that we just got our fund approved at the Community Foundation?
Sure, Dan. Go ahead. Camera, this camera right here
Let's
would
see,
be fine for that.
yeah, I'm
This
awful
one
with
right
the
here,
camera.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
so the-
shout out to Charlotte Schaefer and everybody.
Yeah.
Exactly. I wish I remembered the address, but you can find it. Go to the Community Foundation at Greater Muscatine, and they have a list of funds.
Yeah.
They have a thing you can click and put in the amount and who it
There you
goes
go.
to. It goes to the Peace Tourism Fund. That's what we
Yes.
called it.
Perfect. So again, as I always say on the show, if you're watching this and you're a very wealthy person and you don't know what to do with all your money, here's another great option, right? I
Absolutely.
mean, hey, you never know who's going to see this.
I gave $100 already. You
Well,
could,
look at
you know,
that. Talk about putting your money where
You
your
could give
mouth is.
$5
We've all,
too.
we've all put a little bit into the fund, so.
Well, it's a good effort, and it's great seeing these renderings, and I'm glad you brought them this morning. And again, folks, I hope that if you're watching this, you educate yourself.
And Matt does promise more for next
Yeah.
Thursday.
Yeah, it's great, right? So be there on the 21st, and I thank you for the efforts, and I'm thankful that Tom and I kind of ran into each
Yes.
other because that worked out, and I've wanted to talk. And I think I typed in Ann's email address wrong because I'd reached out to her a couple times to have her here to talk about it. So I'm glad that it happened because
Ann has spoken for us more than once at City
Yes.
Council,
Sure.
Rotary Club, places like that. She'll be doing the main presentation next week.
Awesome.
too. Yeah.
That's great. Well, thank you again, guys. It's great to have you here.
Yeah.
Tom, pleasure.
Thank
Dan,
you.
Thank you, pal.
Pleasure
Good to
meeting
see
you.
Listen, get online, get yourself informed, educated, be there next week, and show some support for what the future could hold for Muscatine and our beautiful riverfront. It's definitely where I'm at. I wish I could vote right now. Just a big old hit the button or whatever, fill in the circle. I would do it in a second. All right, what are we doing, Chad? Aisle cam. All right, we'll go to the Toyota of Muscatine aisle cam, and then we'll see. Oh no, I'm sorry, the CBI Bank and Trust aisle cam. And I'm looking around to see. Oh, there they are. Hi, friends. I didn't see them at first. I was checking my peripherals and I didn't see Scott and Jenny with MCSA, but they're here, so we'll get them situated. Thanks again, guys. I appreciate your time. We're looking at the CBI Bank and Trust aisle camera in the meat department, looking at those turkeys. Those are the turkeys you can get for free when you buy a ham here at the store. That deal's going on. I had a lady yesterday reach out that was trying to buy 9 hams to then get the 9 turkeys for free. And guess what she's going to do with the turkeys? She's going to donate them, I think. So that's pretty cool. And she was doing that via Aisles Online. So you can order those online. Certainly Thanksgiving coming up. Thanksgiving is later this year. So keep that in mind and don't miss out. You can see the ham and the turkey in the shot. All right. So we're going to get our next guests ready, but Chris is also ready with that Toyota Muscatine cut camera. Today, friends, the 14th of November is Spicy Guacamole Day. It's giving me heartburn just thinking about it. And it's also National Pickle Day. Not Pickles the hamster. He doesn't have his own day yet. Let me write the children's book that turns into the animated series, then I retire. Then we get National Pickles the Hamster Day. I'm all about that paper. You know that. So we're going to look for some pickles, pickles. And I think I sent Chris, hopefully on a path of success, down aisle number 4. I love pickles. I'm pro pickle. Pickle on a hot dog. Pickle on a burger. Chad, you might as well turn on Scott and Jenny's mics because Scott's probably got some input on pickles, I imagine. Scott Dahlke, before we come to you on camera, pro pickle or anti-pickle?
Pickle is a good time anytime.
Nice.
It doesn't even need to be on a burger.
Yeah.
I can just eat them. Just
Right.
eat them.
Crack open a jar.
However, I actually like them just alone and
Yeah.
not on my burger.
Same.
Because it's such a strong taste.
Yes.
You put it on a burger. I want that juicy burger. I don't want to be tasting pickle with my burger.
That's an
I'm a little
interesting
weird.
point. Okay, so you would almost take the garnish of the pickle on the side.
Yeah.
Jenny,
yeah.
what about you? Are you a pickle fan?
I'm definitely Team Pickle.
Nice. Good. Hashtag Team Pickle. Get it trending out there on the interwebs. So, all right, Chris is showing us. And the thing about the pickle evolution, I mean, I remember back in my day in the late 80s and early 90s, there was like 2 types of pickles. There was like a Vlasic And then maybe they had the ones that you put on a burger. Now we just saw there's like.
You think pickle's
20
going to
different-
become the new bacon?
I don't think.
You can't dethrone bacon, right?
What about like a combination of both?
Well, what about the new guacamole? Because guacamole's trending, right?
Guacamole is super trending. Avocado toast is trending.
Yeah.
You just had me thrown for a loop. I was like in a state of pause.
I saw you,
What if
and
you
I was
took
like-
a piece of bacon and
I
wrapped
actually
it around a
stumped.
pickle? Here's the thing. If you want to celebrate National Pickle Day by donating 1,000 pounds of pickles to MCSA, I don't know if they have room for it because you've had a couple of different 1,000-pound donations. show
Hy-Vee
up.
donated 1,000 pounds of peanut butter, and then some twins donated 1,000
Yeah,
pounds
the
of jelly.
Urrington
and
twins. How about it?
then Hy-Vee and Bimbo donated 100 loaves of bread. So
Unbelievable.
we're not overflowing. I'm not going to
Good.
say we're overflowing.
Okay.
We are just really excited.
Look at Steve's note over here. Get pickled today. Was it a hand holding a pickle? Is that what that was? Look at this note. It's a thumbs up. Look at that. This guy, regular artist over here. It's great to have you here, Jenny. Good to see you, Scott.
Boom,
MCSA
baby.
in the house. Jenny Lear and Scott Dahlke, MCSA Muscatine Center for Social Action, friends of the show. I just like when I could have people that I know can have fun with them. Talking about National Pickle Day. It's
You
also
know-
National Family Pajama Day.
Maybe some point we should like wrap pickles with
Yeah,
bacon
it's a good idea.
and just have a party. Let's make that a fundraiser.
I'm in. What about MCSA gets into the pickle canning business? There's a friend of mine that has this.
I don't know anything about canning, Tony.
It's pretty easy. There's a friend of mine in Oak Park outside Chicago where I grew up, and he works with special needs kids and adults, and they have these Opportunity Knocks is the name of the organization, and it's kind of like a day hab place, but they also started making these things called knockout pickles, and they sell them everywhere. And it's all made by special needs adults and kids. It's super cool. So what about MCSA pickles? We've got that Kent Precision Foods Group. They got that overnight instant pickle thing. Jimmy Kent and Bree Coolers were on this show, and it was marvelous.
Like
so
an
maybe that's the
overnight-
next
an overnight pickle thing.
overnight pickles. This Mrs. Wages, you put the cucumbers in a mason jar, and the next day you got pickles.
I think we came up with a new $1 million idea.
Yeah, for MCSA, of course, to support them.
And we will help all the people out of poverty.
Yes.
Via pickles.
So we just talked about it, but in the last couple of weeks, 1,000 pounds of peanut butter, 1,000 pounds of jelly, and then this awesome bread donation show up. And that was the one thing, Hy-Vee as a company selected a couple places in the cities that they serve, and they decided to make this 1,000-pound donation with Skippy, which was super cool. And then the Urrington twins, who have Coins for Christmas, were like, hey, we want to help out, and they matched with the jelly. One of my favorite comments, which of course was a little tongue-in-cheek from somebody online, was, well, what about the bread?
What about the bread?
I was like, can we just be excited about people getting involved? And then here comes the Bimbo Bakery's bread donation. So that's super cool. And again,
And it's leaders in this town like Matt and Chad, that,
Sure.
it's the store directors for this Hy-Vee and the other Hy-Vee that came through and were like, hey, this is a great idea. What I just think is impressive is it was just on a whim.
Sure.
Chad had come to us with 1,000 pounds of peanut butter, and great idea, and that's a shelf-stable protein.
Yep.
I've learned more about proteins,
I was
and
going to say,
just like the welding program, I know
Yeah.
more about welding today than I ever thought I would need to know. And now we got the food pantry, and I'm learning okay, we got breads, grains, we got the happy plate, the full plate, my plate. Oh my gosh, I got this down now.
but a peanut butter is one of those, it's like, I don't want to say that it's a luxury, because I don't know if that's the right word, but certainly for someone that is coming to the food pantry at MCSA to be able to say, oh my gosh, there's a thing of peanut butter that they thought, I don't know if I'd ever be able to afford it because it can be kind of pricey.
It can be kind
right?
of pricey, yes, but it's also a staple because
Absolutely.
it can sit on the shelf forever, and
Yeah.
you can make it with anything.
Yeah,
You can just put it on bread. You can eat it off the spoon. You can put it on celery. Put it with raisins.
Yeah.
You could do whatever you want with
When my
peanut
wife
butter.
was pregnant, she would dip Oreos in them. I don't know if I should say that or not, but
I think
we
your
just
wife's gonna
did.
smack you when you get home.
So, but I mean, it's just true.
How does your wife stay married to you?
I don't know. It's because I'm so handsome.
exactly
but it
it.
was nice to see that food pantry, lower level MCSA, because what you're doing, Jenny and Scott, is the power of choice. So this is so big, and we've talked about this before, but I just hope for people that understand, because I assume the people that are going to watch this are probably, maybe some of them will never set foot in the MCSA.
They should come and check it out. And
they
there's
should.
a lot. Norwich Wire spearheaded a lot of that.
Sure.
A lot of the transition to MCSA and a lot of the transition to Choice. And if you haven't seen the food pantry, come on down. They're donated $10,000 so that we could invest it in the food pantry and make the food pantry as great as we possibly can.
Yep.
And now it's like a little miniature grocery store.
It's really cool.
Hy-Vee donated. Hy-Vee is a big part of our community. They donated some of those little carts, so people get a little cart and they go around and they pick their bread, they pick their fruit, they pick their protein, and so that reduces waste. Because a lot of times you give somebody, you give out a box of food, and then they'll go through the food like, I don't really need ketchup. What am I going to do with ketchup? I can barely feed myself.
Sure.
The ketchup goes in the dumpster. This time now they're picking what they want.
Yep.
And then we're trying. There's some pickles coming up.
Did you get the moonshine pickles? You got the booze pickles? All right.
Well, how about that?
So literally,
let me see that. There's booze pickles?
There is. It's 20% alcohol. It's the whole thing. I was thinking maybe
Wow.
a pickles that we could crack and we'd all have them, but this is for a later.
It's only 9 a.m.
That's right.
It's only 9 a.m.
Listen, the folks at home, Jenny, could be seeing this at 9 p.m. for all we know. But that power of choice.
We need to get pickles at the food pantry. I don't think we have any pickles at the food pantry.
You know what? It is National Pickles Day, so maybe don't donate the booze. The booze pickles.
Peanut butter can go with pickles, right?
There are people that would tell you they eat a peanut butter and pickle sandwich, and those people would not be my friends. But I do like both of them. So
that's like a pregnant food, isn't it?
I'm not opposed. I'm not talking about my wife's pregnancies anymore on this show.
I didn't bring your wife
there
into
it is right there.
Oh, jeez, how about that?
Yeah, but again, I feel like
it's a silly show today. We're great.
This is awesome. The power of choice is a big deal. The food pantry is
so
awesome.
Yeah. Please come on down and check it out because a lot of work has gone into it now.
It's so nice. I mean, it's really. I don't know, and Jenny, you certainly. I don't know if you feel this way, but there is so much in your building. I almost feel like you're maybe running out of space. Is that a hot take, or do you feel like you have so many incredible services? The place is just packed with good. It's just all good at MCSA.
Yeah, we have so many hopes and dreams too of how we can take our services to the next level,
Yeah.
and so
What is this? No. Oh, you got us straws for the moonshine pickle, Steve. You're too kind.
Oh man, it's 9 a.m.
It's so early. That's 20%.
But yeah, some days it just seems like we definitely would love some more space, but we love what we can do with the space we have right now and the lives that we're able to touch with the space that we have.
What about just the crazy idea of a catwalk that connects the empty former Musser Public Library, and then that just becomes MCSA as well? You're at the point where
I was talking to a guy named Mark, and he was talking about what if we had a solar panel farm on top of the library because it needs a new roof anyways.
Right.
And that solar panel farm went right across the alley.
Powered MCSA.
Right across the alley and covered the alley and powered MCSA and then a catwalk. So you're right in lines with what he's talking about. The trouble is always money, right?
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. But there's just so much good that's happening in your building. It's worthy of all of the money.
Well, and I think that it's a credit to our town. I've been talking to a leader from Ottumwa, and they're just not as forward thinking as Muscatine's been. And Muscatine's been building MCSA for 27 years, and
wow.
It's a good example of why our city looks so clean.
Yeah.
And why so many people have the help that they need. The work's not done. We got to put a lot more into it, but we have 30,000 square feet. How can we use that 30,000 square feet to Muscatine's advantage the best we possibly can?
Well, and I tell you what, you speak about donating and helping the cause. You're here because tonight, the 14th, as we're sitting here, literally in the Market Grill from 4 p.m. to close, up to, depending on the turnout, you can get 30% of all sales donated back to MCSA. So if you're watching this, come to Hy-Vee. And it doesn't matter if you ordered anything off the Market Grill Express menu. You can get Hy-Vee Chinese. You can get the salad bar. It all counts in this fundraiser. So,
me and Jenny are going to be here tonight. I would like to test this out real quick. Anybody who's watching, if you come in today, I will give you a hug if you say you saw me on the show this morning.
Wow.
I want to see that happen.
Free hug from Scott Dahl.
Or Jenny will give you a hug.
What about a crisp high five?
She's gonna smack me because she's not a touchy-feely kind of lady.
Well, that's what I was saying. Why not a crisp high five, Scott?
I'll give you a fist bump.
Or fist bump. Chris giving the fist bump.
I can do the fist bump.
So please come out to this. It's on the screen right there. Charity night here, Market Grill Express, and at the same time, we've got this awesome sale going on. We have these different samples throughout the store. And I would encourage people to also pick up one of the very cool reusable bags that say, does this make my heart look big? Because as we're sitting here in the month of November, every reusable bag you buy, $1 goes to MCSA. Every single bag. They're $2.50. I don't think we make anything on them. It was designed to help local organizations. So with every bag that you buy, $1 goes right to MCSA for this month. So that's super cool to be able. You could double dip tonight.
It's needed. It's needed.
Sure.
The need is great, and this is sometimes the trouble you have when you build a building or a organization like MCSA that's got all these different branches. People think that the need is less or that they can handle it, but the need is still so great. We have domestic violence shelter. We have a family emergency shelter. We have a homeless prevention program. We have the food pantry now. So there's just so much that we have to support. So come in, support us, have a drink with Tony. Have some pickled moonshine.
If you'll have it, sure.
If you'll have it, or don't have anything alcoholic, just come in and give me a fist bump and help us kick off our letterathon. And Jenny can talk a little bit about that.
Oh my gosh, letterathon time is here already?
It's our kickoff for it.
Okay, so Jenny, for letterathon, what do people need to know? And again, I say this, if somebody's out there with the Scrooge McDuck vault full of money, you want to write the check, novelty check, they've got novelty checks. I'll get a novelty check. You want to make a big donation. Letterathon, how many letters are you going to be sending out?
We have plans to send out 1,700
Holy moly.
letters in the mail, and it's kind of like our year-end fundraising campaign, and it gives you the chance to decide where you want your money to go, and it's just a great opportunity to get that fundraising in, during the giving time of the year.
Well, and 100%, 'tis the season to help. And again, I say this with all due respect, if you're super loaded and you're looking to help around tax time, a generous donation will help.
Make it rain.
Right?
Make it rain.
I mean, honestly, it's true though. I mean, MCSAs will cease to exist if the support stops, and I know that it won't, but I'm just saying, whether it's $10 or $10,000, you are accountable for every dollar that comes into the building, and you can look at people that donate and tell them, thank you, your money is going to go towards, and then you've got a paragraph of services.
I think
it's amazing.
I've been trying to get the word out that we hit way above our weight.
Sure.
We're boxing in a different weight class. We are running incredibly lean, so we are using the money as responsibly as we can.
Sure.
So everybody hates it when people talk about money, especially when you talk about helping people. But that's what needs to happen to give us the infrastructure so that people falling on hard times can get back into hard times. We've got a great community, a lot of jobs.
Yeah.
Sometimes people fall on hard times, and we are the infrastructure to help them get back up in there.
Sure.
And back into the workforce and feeling good about themselves so they can take care of their kids, so that we can improve our schools.
Yep.
It's all comes together. So the more we're all working together in unison, it's just a beautiful, beautiful thing.
And
Yeah.
Jenny's going to handwrite every letter. Is that what you were saying?
Oh.
1,700 handwritten.
No, thank goodness for the printers.
Yeah, that's good. I was going to say, right? So,
But there is a Post-it
Yeah.
on each. That's what our kickoff today is.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
cool.
that's
I
what
didn't
we're
know
doing tonight. We like to write personalized notes and stick them in there just to give that personalized touch. So that's what we're
awesome.
doing tonight.
It's an amazing thing to be able to do something that is, I mean, what a old school personal touch, a letterathon, in an era where we're inundated with texts and email. I check my mail every day thinking I'm getting something in the mail, and I think that that's true for a lot of people. Like, you check your mail, I'm not expecting anything, but I open the mail and it's just that tangibility, right? Like that tangibility of getting, whether it's a letter for MCSA or whatever. But I just feel like that is a great way to get something meaningful and important in front of people, because they're looking forward to getting actual mail. It could be an email and you'd zip right through it and you don't even see it. Maybe you fat thumb it like I do and you hit it in the weird folder and you never know what's in there. I mean, I would.
The personal
like
touch
this idea.
is missing sometimes.
Sure.
So getting the actual handwritten message is sweet, and I know that's how my wife won me over, was a card.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I had flown home for Christmas, and that Christmas my dad had a heart attack, and I didn't really know my wife very well, and I came back to work and I worked with her. And she sent me a card saying, "I'm sorry for all the trouble you're going through." And
Wow.
nobody else, I was living in a different state, halfway across the country, and that's what made me fall in love with my wife. So
That's awesome.
Hopefully, you guys will all fall in love with MCSA, and give us a big check.
Yeah.
Or anything, just supporting us, we appreciate.
Yeah.
But
Well, and that's
if I
just-
can encourage you to give bigger, right there, let's do it.
And listen, it's a big deal. Look at that. MCSA was home to 255 adults and 82 children. I mean, come on. You know that there's good work happening there. And as I always say, even if you just drive past MCSA and you don't know what's going on, you can always stop in and have a conversation, and just in an instant you'll be so impressed with all that's going on in that building. And it's
We
so
added a new
fascinating.
peer
to
drop-in
me.
center.
Right, the Peer Drop-In Center is
So-
it's just you have this new reception area with this really nice reception. I don't know, the place looks fantastic. It
Just trying to
really
figure
does.
out how we can provide that infrastructure for people.
Sure. And the goal ultimately, because what's the biggest misconception? That people that have fallen on hard times, that are maybe dealing with homelessness, and are just coming to, you're opening your doors, you're taking them in, and that's it.
The misconception is
that the
it's
misconception?
freebies, that we're serving a bunch of drunks and addicts.
Sure.
And anybody who will listen to me, Jenny knows what's coming out of my mouth.
Mm-hmm.
80% of the people we serve, they come one time, they get helped.
Mm-hmm.
We get them out of there in 45 days or 26 days, depending on which shelter they're staying in.
Sure.
And we'll never see them again. That 20% have either a chronic mental health issue or a substance abuse issue.
Sure.
We need to figure out how to treat those with dignity as well.
Absolutely.
So that there is no holes in Muscatine. There is no spot where we're okay with somebody just dying on the streets,
And the goal ultimately is to serve people and to set them up for success so that they can be in that 80 percentile, and maybe that becomes 85 or 90%. Wouldn't that
Hopefully it doesn't exist. If we put the shelters out of business, let's put the shelters out of business,
Yeah.
I'm sure MCSA could find new ways to stay relevant, providing quality, affordable housing, whatever it may be, but we have great stats. We're performance-based at our shelter now, so we track our social workers on how fast they're putting people out,
Yep.
and what kind of condition they're putting people out to, and we hold them accountable to that. And so we're getting great numbers. Jody Royal Goodwin, the community development director, she was bragging about our stats. We had a strategic planning meeting the past 2 days, and she was involved with that, and she was bragging about our stats. She's like, "You guys got to celebrate that."
Yeah,
Where
absolutely.
94% of the families go to stable, positive housing. Our shelter stay is 46 days. We're leading the nation in a lot of these things.
It's awesome.
And apparently we need to brag about that.
Yeah.
I want to brag about the community and how generous it can be, and encourage it to continue to be so generous, because there's good work happening. There's good work happening, and the need is there.
Yeah.
We talk about the food, and one of my sayings for that is that people in poverty are dying 10 to 15 years younger than people that aren't in poverty.
Sure.
And basic nutrition, that's a
huge.
foundation to good health and being able to live a long, healthy life. And we also don't need to be running to the ER. Without good nutrition, without good health care in poverty, you're often getting fragmented care. So
There's a lot of chain reactions.
there's so much
poverty can
involved
trigger.
in all of this, and the need is great, folks. The need is great, and the world is not falling. Muscatine is doing a good job,
Yep.
but we're always changing. Our community used to be a lumber town, then a button town. Now
Right.
it's we got Kent and H&I and Musco, so we're always evolving. And so our giving needs to evolve as well.
Absolutely. And Jenny, for you, I wonder, when you started, is 2 years coming up on 2 years for you?
I just hit a year.
Just hit a year. Okay. So in that year, all that you've done and experienced, there's no way, if you could go back in time and tell yourself, like, hey, you're going to do all of this, you're going to get to meet all of these people and see how many people can thrive from just one, not just one building. You have more locations with serving people's needs, but talk about that. I mean, it's got to have been just such an unbelievable year
Yeah,
at MCSA, right?
Had no idea what to expect in my first year, but I'm so happy that I was a part of MCSA to see all of the different people that we helped throughout the year, and just be able to see the change that we're making, and see change in action, and meet people from the community that have big hearts for the people that we serve, to But
And
it
Jenny's
was
a
good
great
year.
example of, this new generation coming up. She's younger, she's coming in, she's killing it. She's attacking each detail with aggressiveness and making sure she's finding the next level, how to get us to the next step. So seeing young people coming into the workforce with that kind of drive, that kind of desire,
fantastic.
it gives me so much hope for tomorrow. It's so cool, Tony.
I mean, you've survived a fireworks tent collapse. So I don't know there's nothing else that, you guys have seen and experienced a lot.
We got hit by a tornado
right
a couple years
that was
ago.
I always forget about how
then-
much MCSA was impacted by that.
Yeah, our whole
windows were just blown
out. The front facade was torn off. Then we had the fireworks tent collapse, and then we had a fire at 4th Street.
Sure.
It's just there's been a number of tragedies, but the team has bound
But there's
together.
more triumphs.
They bound together every time, and they
Yeah.
get these things solved in a nice, efficient, fast, safe way, and making sure we're still taking care of people the best we can while we do it.
So if you're watching today, come to Hy-Vee tonight. Anything you eat, drink, whatever will help out MCSA. If you can't make it, you can volunteer, you can donate. The domestic violence shelter always needs stuff. I'm assuming that since winter's here early, you might need hats, gloves. I don't know.
Hats and gloves this time of year, they
Sure.
go quickly.
Yeah.
When we see kids leaving for school, because we have 12 kids there now. Last year, this time we had 25 kids in there.
Wow.
And you watch them leave for the school bus in the morning. When you don't see a hat on their head, you're like, oh my goodness, buddy.
Sure.
Let's get you back here and put a hat on that
Yeah.
head for you. So those things are always helpful. Again, if anybody says that they saw me on the show this morning, or are you coming tonight?
I'll be here.
You'll
Yeah.
be here. All right.
I'm
So
here till at
I want to
least
see.
7.
I want to
Yeah.
see somebody come in and say they saw me on the show.
So if I say that I saw you on my show,
I'll give you a kiss.
oh boy!
How about that?
All right, I don't know if I will donate to not have that, if that's okay.
I'm going to hold you to it. Maybe I found a new way to get donations.
Yeah, the MCSA kissing booth, the best idea ever. What do you mean?
Just find a big,
forget the
find a big
fireworks
building
tent.
and just close the doors and say you're going to get a kiss if you don't donate.
Oh, that's the way, is to make people feel uncomfortable into donating. It's a new strategy.
Okay, I didn't
We're
say all
kidding.
that. Let's take
this
that
is
all back.
all, but we want you to help out and understand that there's so much good work going on. That's what it's all about. And this fundraiser tonight, those fundraising bags, the letter-a-thon, so many ways to get connected with what's going on at MCSA. If you're watching, I just hope that you will do it. Do what you can, right? Do what you can, and if that's donating food to the pantry, awesome. It all makes a difference.
If you have
Wherever it
ideas,
is.
ideas are worth their weight in gold.
Sure.
If you have ideas on how we can help people in poverty,
Sure.
we're willing to listen. That's
Yeah.
how MCSA has evolved, is with the community's ideas and input.
Sure.
I'd love a lot of things. I'd like to redevelop an entire pocket community in Muscatine. So just ideas, bring them. They're worth their weight in gold as well. So you got ideas on how we can build our community? Let's hear it.
Let's do it. It's a great time for sure. And I appreciate you guys being here, and I'll see you in a couple hours. So
Yeah.
you just
Thanks for
stay if
having
you
us.
want to.
Poor
Maybe
Tony's gonna get sick of
Maybe
me.
get some moonshine pickles.
I just can't believe he produced moonshine pickles.
Yeah, Chris had a whole aisle of regular pickles, and he got
Your staff is
straight
really
to-
on
and
it.
then
They're like
Steve
bringing the-
came through
bringing
with
the straws out?
With straws, yeah. We will not. I cannot partake in libations on the job. So I can go
Neither
punch
can
out,
we.
come back, slam a thing of moonshine pickles, but I won't. Drink responsibly. Thank you for being here. It's great seeing you. I'll see you tonight. Can't
Thank
wait.
you.
Please come in, support these guys. Get whatever. Just support them. I can't say enough about the good work that happens at MCSA. I've experienced it and seen it firsthand, and you should know that. And you can go and take a tour, by the way, if you're ever wondering. There's a great picture of Matt Schweitzer and Chad Adams and Scott and the bread that came in to go along with 1,000 pounds of peanut butter, 1,000 pounds of jelly. Maybe you're thinking you got 1,000 pounds of turkey you want to donate. I don't know. Whatever. Yeah. All right. So we're gonna let these guys get out of here.
No, I stay.
Yeah. Probably have a busy day, don't you? I don't know. You got to come back here tonight, so you can just stay all day if you want to. Hang out at the store. You could hang out. That'd be fine. Oh, yeah? That's a good-looking burger right there. All right, we're going to mention a couple of things, and then we're going to get out of here. So tonight, starting at 4 p.m., we've got that Moonlight Madness sale. So from 4 till 9, you can come into the store and save during this Moonlight Madness sale. What a great opportunity you have to come in here and take advantage of these deals. I don't want you to miss out. There's so many good ways for you to save here at the store. This is awkward close-up time. We've got awesome deals throughout the entire store. We've been putting these on Facebook and Instagram, and it's out on Twitter. On this show, certainly telling you about all the different opportunities that you have to come in and save some money with us, from the deli department to the meat department and seafood. All throughout the store is participating in the Moonlight Madness sale. So please come in and check it out. It's on the main Hy-Vee page, I reckon. And we'll get you in here. So we've got flyers for the Moonlight Madness sale. It's all going on 4 till 9. You've got to see it. I don't know if we've got a special on moonshine pickles, but you're welcome to come and get those while they last. I don't think they're going to be around much longer. So do we have the Moonlight Madness ad, Chad? Maybe. If not, I'll mention at the bottom of that ad, we've also got that holiday show that's going on here in the store. There it is. Look at these deals. Deli, chicken, Pepsi, blueberry muffins, russet potatoes, shrimp, making some soup. We got the oyster crackers. What about egg noodles? Yeah, great ways to keep yourself warm with the temps getting colder and colder outside, everybody. So check out the deals on that ad. And then also don't forget, from 5 to 7 p.m., you can have some samples in the store during the holiday show. Happy holidays. Or you could support MCSA with dinner in the Market Grill Express. We've also got Thursday night steak night. There's so much going on in one day. The Salvation Army Red Kettle kickoff is at 5. There's a lot happening. The Muscles of Muscatine event at the National Pearl Button History and Museum is going on. This is a very busy day for Muscatine, to say the least. All right, quickly, we'll touch on the new hot deals. We've got a big fuel saver tomorrow as well. So the front page of the Hy-Vee ad this week, you're getting some hot deals that are going to save you money. You can see they've advertised the free turkey when you buy a ham. The hot deals are throughout the store. You look for the big circle sign that says literally hot deals on it with some flames that could help maybe melt the snow. And you can do that. Check it out. Don't miss it. Hot deals in the store. Hot deals down every aisle if you'll have it. Alex Armstrong creeping up in the background. Do you have something? You got some product to promote, sir?
I just want to be on the show.
Oh, perfect. Alex is always... we've never invited Alex. I'm sorry. I'm glad that he walked on, though. He's only marvelous. I was going to mention these Starbucks reusable cups that I had brought on earlier. Forgot to mention them. Reusable cold cups. So I think they sold out of all the warm cups. But if you're looking for the reusable cold Starbucks cups, we've got them right here. All right. So the Fuel Saver Friday, Saturday, spend $60, get 30 cents off per gallon. I don't think Hy-Vee has ever gone this big with respects to that type of fuel saver. And it adds up. It's not a one-time deal. So if you did the math, you spend $60 equals 30-cent fuel saver. So if you spent $120, that would be another 30 cents. Now you've got 60. Say you spend $180. Well, by gosh, you'd have 90 cents on the fuel saver. That's happening Friday, Saturday. Spend 60, get 30 cents here in the store. It's awesome. At the same time, prices on those items are only good Friday, Saturday, with respects to the cereal, the Totino's pizza, the BOGO salad, the BOGO pizza, the BOGO Chinese. Awesome, right? Of course, the rotisserie chicken for $4.99, they're normally not even close to that price, so that's really good. Those rotisserie chickens are massive. No antibiotics, all natural, $4.99. Eat it hot, pick it, chicken salad. I mean, it's just, there's so many purposes you can have for that. It's just absolutely fantastic. And then, of course, the best deal in town with respects to the holidays is buy the ham, get the turkey for free. The 6.5-pound Hormel Cure 81 boneless ham, $26 to $27 in price. You get the turkey, 10 to 14-pound turkey for free. So other places would make you spend $50 and then give you a free turkey. We're only asking for $26 to $27 on a giant ham, and then you get the turkey for free. So that is awesome. You guys have a hot date today or something, or what? Okay, look at this. They're like, wrap it up, pal. Buy the ham, get the turkey. Best deal in town. Don't miss it. Awesome way to take advantage of that in the meat department. They're selling a ton of hams, and they're giving a lot of turkeys away for free. All right. Last but not least, if you don't want to cook this Thanksgiving, the holiday meal deal is a breeze. Kim Beckman and the crew in the kitchen, they're going to get you all taken care of. A simple phone call to place your order, 563-264-2420, or if you're in the store, you could talk to Kim in person. That's how I'll place mine because I work here. Full package, 6 to 8 people, $89. That's a 10 to 12 pound cooked, carved turkey or a 5-pound ham, sliced and ready to go. Mashed potato, gravy, green bean casserole, dressing, dinner rolls, pumpkin pie. If you need a half pack, $49. That's what we'll be doing at the house for the evening of Thanksgiving, which I'm glad that I know that I need to order one of those full packs. So Kim, if you're watching, Kim Beckman, put me down for a full package and make it a double turkey. Wink. 2 turkeys for the price of 1. I got something in my eyes. I'm not blinking. I'm not winking. But also, and mac and cheese? Maybe. Yeah, there you go. All right, very good. So, yeah, let's get out of here. We'll thank our guests for being here. I think that's from last year. We'll thank our guests for being here. Tom Emmerich, Dan Clark, talking about the World Village and Peace Park that they're working on for the Carver Corner here in Muscatine. Thanks to Tom and Dan for taking the time to be here. It was great talking to them. And, of course, Scott Dahlke and Jenny Learness with MCSA. We've got Friday left this week on the show, and then we're out of here. Thanks for watching. Live at 8:30 or weeknights at 7:30 and 10:30 on Muscatine Power and Water, Channel 5. You can watch all of these shows, by the way, online. If you're ever bored, you can find them all on Facebook or YouTube. And thanks to CBI Bank and Trust Toyota Muscatine and team staffing for their support. Have a good rest of your day or a good evening. Come and see us with this Moonlight Madness sale. And then definitely Friday, Saturday with that Fuel Saver and 2-day sale. Some great opportunities to save. We're also, by the way, I'm just going to tell you this little sneak peek. We're going to have Santa and Mrs. Claus in this store 4 times between next weekend and Christmas, and Elsa and Anna from Frozen here. Kristen Bell, the actual actress that voices Anna, will not be here. But you can imagine if she was. Josh Gad, the actor that voices Olaf, will also not be here. But you can imagine if he would be. It would be pandemonium. Will Tony be dressed as Olaf? Maybe. Will Chris fit more comfortably in an Olaf costume? Probably. Stay tuned, friends. We've got a lot more to bring you. All right, we're going to get out of here. Thanks for watching again. Take care, everybody. Goodbye. Coach is mad over there.
Thanks for watching Hy-Vee Today with Tony Tone.
Be very, very quiet while hunting wabbits.
We'll do it again tomorrow with more local guests from in and around the Muscatine community.
I'm trying to emote for the play that the alumni are putting on in Wilton this Friday, Saturday.
Questions, comments, know a great guest? Reach out to Hy-Vee Today with Tony Tone on Facebook or via email, hyveetoday@gmail.com.